Up front at 9:30 tonight, pounds of personal information turns up in the trash.
Yeah, you can see social security numbers, birth dates on almost every page of these attorney case files. Some of those included pages of rape victim interviews. Fox 25's Dita Payton told those people their information was dumped for anyone to see. She has tonight's Fox 25 investigation. Dita.
Andrew, the majority were shocked. They were suspicious at first, but once we read their information back to them, the information left in plain sight, they became upset and worried about who else could have had access to the personal details of their life.
It's really upsetting.
Ken Wood cannot believe his eyes.
That's appalling. It really is, to just see stuff just discarded. I mean, it was boxed up and everything, but then just to be thrown in a dumpster without being shredded or anything, that's.
We are showing him his personal, private documents, his divorce proceedings and custody battles, documents Fox 25 found discarded in a dumpster.
I just assumed, I guess, that they would be filed away in a box, packed away somewhere and stored until such time as they're destroyed or incinerated or something like that.
Copies of Ken Wood's W-2s, paychecks, and his children's social security numbers were abandoned in the trash, left in file folders next to hundreds of others.
Just thrown in a dumpster. It's like I meant nothing. Yeah, that's kind of what it made me feel like today, that I just meant nothing, just in the garbage.
The documents revealed this woman was raped November 17th, 1994. Pages of an in-depth interview by the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation tell her story. Her name, date of birth, and social security number are typed at the top. We notified her of our findings immediately.
I was very shocked.
Her confidential documents are in the same folder as the accounts of 2 other rape victims.
Oh, anybody could have went in that dumpster, and all the other people out there. That's crazy that our information was just put out there for anybody to read.
We alerted the OSBI as well, who responded with this statement. The OSBI is deeply saddened to learn confidential and private information regarding the graphic details of a violent sexual assault were released outside the purview of criminal court proceedings.
It's hard enough for women to come forward from something like this, and if they thought they have to worry about their identity being stolen on top of everything else they have to go through in these situations, they would be less inclined than they are now.
Photos of this woman's abuse, along with her handwritten notes to the district attorney, are also in the files.
My life could have been destroyed.
We are hiding the identities of these abuse and rape victims for their own safety. Both of their cases led to convictions.
It's all made me who I am today, but I would really, really rather not have to go through it again. It was the hardest thing I've ever been through in my life.
For these 3 people, these court cases changed their lives. They say when we first called them and read their information back, it felt like a nightmare.
Well, first of all, a little shocked, a little suspicious, as to, is this for real? I mean, somebody's actually got my information.
The Oklahoma Bar Association says attorney-client confidentiality falls under the rules of professional conduct. The duty continues even after a case is over.
When you turn that stuff over to an attorney, I mean, you're opening your life to, basically the courts and saying, these are, this is my status in life right now.
However, the rules of professional conduct are not applied the same way to third parties. All of the people we interviewed were third parties in the dumped case files.
You have no control. I mean, if you're ever in any kind of court case, you have no control over what might be done with your information.
That does not mean they should not be protected. However, the Bar Association says it's an ethical obligation.
That's one of the reasons why I would agree to talk to you. That makes me so mad. I mean, that so many lives could have been destroyed, and we don't even know yet. I mean, someone else might have gotten our information.
Tomorrow night, we take a closer look at the rules of confidentiality and who, if anyone, is responsible for the abandoned personal information.
Up front at 9:30 tonight, when you talk with an attorney, you'd expect your personal information to stay private.
Yeah, we found hundreds of attorney case files, though, just left in a dumpster. They contain thousands of pages of extremely personal information. And tonight, Fox 25's Dita Payton finds out who, if anyone, can be held responsible. She has tonight's Fox 25 investigation. Dita.
Andrew, under the rules of professional responsibility, attorneys have an obligation to maintain their clients' confidentiality. However, the rules are different for the other parties involved, parties who are also required to hand over their personal information. In those circumstances, attorneys are held to an ethical responsibility to protect the public.
I mean, this was a long time ago, and it took 12 years to get him, and now several years have passed since the trial.
More than 15 years after she was raped, this woman finds out she's a victim again.
I was very shocked.
To put her perpetrator behind bars, she had to share her story with the courts. Fox 25 found her personal documents in a dumpster in the metro.
I was like, wow, I didn't know that much information was in somebody that, wasn't my attorney.
Attorney Marvin Quinn defended the rapist. Quinn also represented dozens of people whose information was in the dumped case files.
I'm kind of appalled that an attorney, you're supposed to be a professional, that would just throw people's stuff just in any kind of dumpster.
We came here to Mr. Quinn's law office and asked to speak with him, even offering off camera. His secretary told us his counsel advised he not comment. We followed him to this home after work. Fox 25 recovered the documents less than a mile away.
Most firms, and this firm, has a document retention policy.
Attorney Timala Rother of the law firm of Crow and Dunlevy, who is not affiliated with Quinn, explains their policy.
We're going to keep it 7 years and then we're going to destroy it unless you want them back. Sometimes clients would like to have their documents back, and so at that point we'll just send them directly to the client.
It's been over 20 years.
Quinn represented Ken Wood's wife during their divorce and custody battle.
It would be nice to know if there were some kind of law or something like that to, hold an attorney or somebody, accountable for those documents.
Fox 25 turned over pounds of documents from the dumpster to the Oklahoma Bar Association to try and answer that question.
We just thank you for bringing them to us.
General Counsel Gina Hendricks cannot comment specifically on this case because it is now under investigation. But she says lawyers can get punished for violating attorney responsibility.
When attorneys violate the rules in such a way that reflects upon either their fitness to practice law or in some way that has harmed or damaged a third person, there's many realms of discipline that may be imposed.
Either way, I want to know how my life, personal life, got thrown in a dumpster and into y'all's hands, because that's very scary to me.
This assault victim's documents are now part of the Bar Association's investigation. Quinn represented her assailant.
He was the nicest man. He was court appointed.
She is upset the photos of her abuse, her social security number, and birth date were not destroyed.
I didn't realize that there was no law on how they disposed of these case files. That really just blows my mind that there is no law protecting people.
We will see that they are gone through, and we will attempt to find the persons to whom they belong and return, and when we can't do that, we will at some point discard of them appropriately, which in our opinion is to shred or burn them.
The Bar Association has not had a chance to read through all of the documents yet. Once it does, it says it will contact the attorney responsible. The bar will then ask him or her to explain what happened. Andrew.
All right, Dita Payton in the newsroom. Attorney Marvin Quinn is in good standing with the Oklahoma Bar Association, but he refused our repeated requests for an interview.